from stardust. Stars and steel forge the sky. Worlds and dreams where legends fly. Engines burning, plasma flows onward where the starlight goes. Cosmic down to take control. Engineer with heart and soul.
Hello, space engineers. Welcome back to another episode of ProtoTech Quest. You find me in a modified temporary bridge. I'm getting ready to set up LCDs, and I'm going to try and use lists to talk to you so that I can remember things that I should be talking about. Yeah, so this is part of me trying to talk to you better. So there's a bunch of things that I should be talking to you about. So action relays for the hangar doors. I put in action relays in here in the hangar that control the doors, open and close them. And I put some action relays. I put one on the catfish, and I put one on the go look-see, so they can open those doors. I reprogrammed the AC drones, so I got some advice about how to make that simpler. And something's wrong with that timing. So they're a lot simpler. So basically it is both of the AI blocks, the basic task. That's interesting. I may have to set these up because, yeah, I have to set these up. That's a good point. So I'm going to have to set up home position to be the beacon on the catfish, but the basic programming is that you leave this on, the basic task, follow home. The beacon is the catfish's beacon, and it's just going to follow me. But you also have the offensive block on with AI on. Oh, maybe I didn't program these drones. Maybe I programmed the other ones. So you have these drones with attack enemies, closest priority, blah, blah, blah. And the way these AI blocks work is that it's going to follow me until this finds an enemy. And then it's going to go attack the enemy until the enemy's dead. And then it's going to go back and start following me again. So these blocks turn each other off and on based on whether this guy finds something or not. I didn't know that before. So that's pretty interesting. I've set this guy up this way, but he has some kind of a launching issue, which may be related to connectors not being on. I have to figure that out. And I guess he needs 2 pieces of green armor. I'll do a better job of making this thing look fearsome eventually. Maybe you guys will give me some ideas. Speaking of which, I got a name for this called the Blood Axe. I was thinking of calling it a Gretchen because that's a type of orc, less powerful orc, which is basically what this is. But I think we will make another one of these sometime soon and paint it to look like a blood axe and maybe change the armor on the front a little bit. So we'll have at least 2 models. The Mr. Shinigami said he may make a version, so we'll see. It was suggested by Mr. Wellington that I use small grid to deal with this, which is something I was really not wanting to do just because of the crazy amount of subgrids I have everywhere, but maybe that is exactly what we'll do. I don't know, I have to think about it. The other suggestion was to have a hinge with the catwalk that flips up and down. I think that's going to work because this is going to be extended as we keep printing drones. So maybe we could put a piston in the floor that pulls catwalk back and forth across this as we are printing or not. That's possible. Maybe we could use small grid blocks to reduce the gap so we don't fall through. That's another possibility. So those are the ideas. Now, what else is on our list to talk about? There's a lot of things because I've been bad at it. So the song, oh yeah, right. So the intro song that you guys just heard, that was made by a viewer. That was made by Mythix. He didn't like one of my video edits. He thought my songs were vulgar, and I changed my edit for him, which wasn't a bad thing. And he made me a song, which is great. So you guys are going to get to hear it a few more times before this series is over. Let's see, thumbnails. Yeah, if you guys want to help choose the thumbnails, I usually choose 3 to 6 images from whatever happened during the show, and viewers get to pick which one is the thumbnail for that episode. Or, oh yeah, right, so we got some more. So, 1.3 million kilograms of uranium ore. We've got, I don't know, 1,500, 1,400 ingots already refined. The refineries chewed through the magnesium and got, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 magnesium out of it, maybe, like refined. And they're working on the cobalt right now. I'm not in a rush to refine this uranium because it just means that I'm gonna accidentally muck things up and talk to the satellite forever. Anyways, names. Oh yeah, so I got Blood Axe as a name for the Gretchen. I don't remember if anybody else gave me names, so I'm sorry if I've forgotten names. Ideas. We talked about the printer ideas, and we're going to talk about the guns. So Commander V thought that this gun placement down here wasn't the smartest. He thought I ought to change some stuff. And he thought there were too many guns, like total. So he's probably right about all those things. So we're going to take his advice at some point. Maybe not right away, but we're going to take his advice. So this was an attempt for me to do something sort of similar. So I think what I'm going to do is take his advice and remove this, change the hull a little bit. And I'm going to move these around a little bit, try and put 3 in here instead of 4. And I'll make the other side match. I think that's what we're going to do. So thank you for the suggestion, Commander V. Now, changed a little bit about these doors here on this printer. So I changed which blocks were in here, how this hinging works, so that these don't interact at all when the door is closed. And I changed this merge block layout so that I didn't have to like over torque the hinges to force the doors in here. We have this nice slope. So hopefully that will work out. We can test that as soon as I put it on my hotbar. So let's do that. Let's put it on this hotbar. This can be the printing hotbar. Okay, so let's rotate the whole ship into the sun. Because I'm going to try and give you a door demonstration. There we go. Yay! Oh man. Alright, so let's reverse the hinges. They are reversing and they are slow. That's better. Okay. Alright. See if they go into place, no clang. Oh, that looks pretty good. Turn the merge blocks on. What? Some blocks would occupy the same space after the merge. I don't understand. Some blocks would occupy the same. Oh, well, this one would attach to that down there. That would kind of be a problem, wouldn't it? So that's kind of an issue. Should occupy the same space. If we turn this off, what happens? Nothing. Oh, that doesn't look very good, this hinge gap. Oh, I should have had the full blocks in here. What is wrong with me? I guess I didn't understand, so I should have full blocks in here. However, this thing is complaining and saying that these blocks will occupy the same space? What? So if I just detach the hinge, what'll happen? Detach. It's still saying that. It still thinks they're going to occupy the same space. What is it talking about? Maybe you guys can help me understand. Right, where's the collision? You know, it thinks that's the collision. It thinks that's a collision. It thinks that's the collision. It thinks that's the collision. Okay. Now what's it unhappy about? Now it's unhappy about the hinge, right? So like there's something strange here. Is it the double hinge problem? I bet it is the double hinge problem. But that's what I don't understand about detaching the hinge, why that didn't fix that problem. See, it's still unhappy. Well, somebody will tell me. Maybe it will be Mozo. Reactors. The reactors are all like hammered right now, right? Yeah, 900 megawatts. Batteries. I put now 420 megawatts. Wow. See that? We just jumped over here and that's here. So we're on our way to the ComSat over Titan. I'm working on these back doors here, and I'm going to try this double hinge layout, so we'll see how this works. Okay. My thought is that if that merge block points down, then this one could point up. And they could merge that way. And then the edges won't be in conflict when this comes down here. This won't be in conflict. So then the merge block goes on here. Like that. And then this okay, so let's weld up the important bits here. Let's turn you off. Okay, so if I turn this on, will it merge? That merged. Okay, so let's turn you off. Unmerges. Well, that's nice. But these are gonna close. I bet that is the problem up there. I bet I need double hinges. Alright, drives are charged. We were not attacked by the space pirate vulture. And it's time for us to make our final jump to the comm satellite. Let's do it. Okay. Where's the comm satellite? Somewhere around here. That's where we were doing all of our trading. Alright, so I'm going to go out in the go get everything. No. Going out in the go look-see. Yeah, I'm going to go look-see for the ComSat. And while I am go look-seeing for the ComSat, I am going to go and do some trade station contracts to improve our reputation with ISCM, and then hopefully when we are visiting Mozo at the beach house, there will be some of their facilities showing up on planet, and we can just walk in and see if they have ProtoTech for us to borrow. Well, that wasn't the best, was it? Yeah, that wasn't the best. Great. Okay, well, I guess we'll be rebuilding that when we get back. Yep. I guess we'll be fixing that. I guess I'm really lucky it didn't take out my cockpit. Alright. I got the go look-see fixed up. So let's see about these acquisition contracts. I have a couple that I picked up. This button? Yeah. The semicolon button does that. So I need 875 computers and 104 iron ingots. Alright, I finished contracts. We are now friendly. Ooh, everything is on discount. That's nice. Do I want to buy anything? I was buying silver. I don't really feel like there's anything I want to buy. I had an idea while I was flying around about how to figure out where that comm set is, because I don't know where it is. I know it exists, but I don't know where it is. So my idea for that is to use my satellite and just get closer. So let's see, outbound. Is that the one? Let's go lasers. What's one of these on? I think one of them's on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, so it's 11.35 kilowatts. So if I go forwards, we're going farther away. Okay, so it's not this direction, it's that direction. So let's go that way. Okay, now let's watch the laser. We're getting closer. So I'm going to do this for a bit until I find my satellite. When I find it, I'll let you know. Okay, we should be within 2.5 Ks of the CommSat at this point. Should be visually identifiable. There it is. Alright, so we didn't know where this thing was, but we managed to use our laser antenna to find it. Took me, I don't know, half an hour anyways, flying around and watching the laser antenna. See, watch the power usage get lower. We found it. It's still here. Very curious to check it out. However, that lost observer drone, the last time I looked, was still out here, so I'm definitely going to go give that a check out. Go look-see. I'm going to give it a go look-see. I'm going to go give it a go look-see with the catfish. Okay. See if I keep from dying. I don't think so.
Your health is low.
Aha! Did not die. Okay, so let's open the doors. Yep, lost observer drone still out there. Let's go check it out. It did orient towards me, so not sure how lost this thing is. I don't see guns on it. It did orient towards us, so is it gonna do stuff? I don't know. It's doing stuff now. Was it always doing stuff? And the thruster's just now kicked on in our viewpoint? Is it gonna come blow up on me? What is it doing? Is it coming to me? Oh. It is coming to me, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe it's running away. Close enough to dampen to it. Well, what does this thing got going on? It's scanning, okay. And what is it finding? It's just scanning. Okay, well. Where's your remote control, bud? Somewhere? Discovery logged. That's interesting. Okay, so this is some ion thrusters. Huh. Alright. I don't know what.
Inventory full.
I don't know if that's going to be bad for me that I'm out here doing this. What? I don't know. Looks okay, I guess. Alright, let's check out this satellite. Oh god, okay, let's turn off our laser. Well, is it trying to talk right now? What is happening? Okay. Trying to establish connection. But it's not using any power. Okay. Batteries have power. Okay. It's a minor overload? Huh, that's kind of strange. So it would be an overload if So that's the total available too. So it's really wrong by a factor of 10 for the number of batteries. This satellite is really cool. In my opinion, it looks really cool, but it needs a big upgrade because it's got like 10 batteries in it, and it basically needs like 100. So I'm not going to upgrade it that much. What are we going to do? I like that it's this teeny little thing. So let's just completely build a new one. Let's design a completely new one. See how that goes. Okay, now that we've got this turned into a station, which was a lot easier once I detached the catfish. So it's like there's an interaction going on between the two grids through the mag plate that's not fully stabilized by the physics system in the game, which is why you can generate a lot of clang by mag plating grids to your main grid. Do I have batteries on board? Some. Wow. Okay. That's all the batteries. Let's get more batteries. I'm going to weld all this stuff up, and then, like all these batteries, I'm going to put more batteries on here after this, and I'm going to come back and talk about the overall design of the satellite once I've gotten this basic bit of batteries down. So I like this overall design that I have here for this satellite. I think it looks cool. So I'm going to try something similar. For me, when I build things, it's a lot about overall shape. That's why I'm not as concerned about color as some people are. I do like color, but just not as concerned about it as other people. So we're going to put, it doesn't matter, we'll just put regular rotors. We're going to put rotors on here for the solar panels. Lock them. Okay, so we're going to need like a side of this with turret controllers. Maybe we'll just put one on either side. And here, 2 turret controllers. Something interesting on here, right, for the ComSats. So we can put slightly bigger solar panels on here so that it will look more appropriate. Basically just implementing the same design I already had, only larger. So that's a pretty neat, looking solar panel layout. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to duplicate that on this side, and then I'm going to put some armor on it and call it done, I think. I mean, I got to weld it, but you know. One of the things that I'm doing with this design is this idea that I have this girder cage. I have this sort of girder cage around the batteries and the satellite components, which gives it sort of a rounded ball-like shape. And then I'm going to put a couple of armor blocks in here to try and finish it out, make it look a little bit, just a little bit better. And I wonder if this could be a different angle. Maybe I could make this a little more round. Yep, that looks better. Let's fix it. I have a hard time talking about builds because I have a tendency to not really know what I'm doing, like at least in terms of like final results, until I really get going on it. So I'm going to get all this sorted out, and then I'll show you what I got. I don't want to belabor this build. This isn't really what this really isn't what the scenario is about this episode. So I've been adjusting the roundness of these girders because it was not fully satisfying. I've spent a lot more time on this than I really wanted to, which I probably knew was going to happen before I started. So let's see what we can do about adding some interesting armor in here. One of the things I would like to do today is print the ship with our large grid ship printer. And I have a ship that I want to print. It's not a warship or anything. It's a smaller ship. It's only like 3 blocks by 3 blocks by, I don't know, 15, something like that. It's for mining. I know I have a big drill on this ship, but sometimes it's not the most effective way to get what I need. Sometimes a more targeted approach is necessary, or less dedicated. Something that requires less of my dedication to just sit in one place and just do that for a long time, because I just got over doing that and it was too much. It wasn't, it went too long, went on too long, so. I think these to be 4s. Okay, so I've placed a gazillion blocks now. I've got my basic battery core welded up. I don't know how many watts that gives me. I don't really know. So I don't know how much distance that gives me. How many batteries do I have? Some of them are incomplete, huh? Okay, well. 53 batteries. Well, that's enough for like 12,000 kilometer connection range. That's pretty good. So if we added a whole nother layer of batteries on here, like made it just if we'd made it one layer bigger, we'd have enough to reach the 25Ks I originally intended, but I don't want to make it any bigger. I don't want to keep building it. I feel like this looks cool. I want to build it and paint it and set the laser antennas up to the Ukamachi. And then I'd like to keep this thing in tow. I'd like to grab it and take it with us somewhere and maybe reuse it. I don't know. We'll see. It's a neat little satellite. I like it. So, might have a use for it later.
Energy low.
Might end up being a relay of some kind. I don't know. I am going to take a break and weld all this up. So I'll see you later. So one of the things that I'd like to do with this is get it so that it is more directly in the sun. That one is full on in the sun right now, and this is not. So I have to rotate this so that it will be able to rotate its solar panels, get a proper amount of power. This, I believe I am done with, so I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to get the tug out so that I can move around the satellite, and then I'll make the satellite a static grid again. Turn the mass blocks on so we have a little more ass. Get this thing aligned a little more properly with the sun. Stop spinning, come on. Looking at the shadows on the wings to try and get it properly lined up. Figure when they are the same-ish, right about now, will be perpendicular to the sun, which is hopefully perpendicular to its path. Okay, let's unlock. Let's make this a station again. I've had a little bit of a think, and one of the things I want to do is try and attach this to the nose of the Ukamachi temporarily. I don't know where we're going to put this in the end, but temporarily attach it up here so that we can use it to talk to Mozo when we need to. I've now converted it to a ship. So we can now attach this to the front of the Ukamachi. The solar panels are aligning themselves properly. That's entertaining. Turn the dampeners off. Right, all right. Now that is a prow on our ship, isn't it? That's great. I'm gonna put this away and get rid of the other antennas that I had. So one of the things that I'm doing with this paint job is trying to make things look a little rusty. And yes, I'm using the rusty paint color here, and that is definitely helping a lot. But the other thing that I'm doing is using the paint gun and applying not an entire amount of the color. And it means I get this mottled look to it, which I like quite a bit. I'm not doing anything really precise with it. I'm just kind of doing whatever with it, having a good time. I highly recommend you use the paint gun to paint whenever you want to do anything subtle with colors, but you don't want to have to set up every single color. You can just have all these mid-ranges. I'm not sure that I like the mottled look on the panels themselves. Let's put some cameras on here. I may change that. I'm definitely going to make these not red. So let's get our cameras so we can get the batteries charging. There we go. Okay, that's nice. So what is this thing getting now? That looks good. Eventually I can look at its batteries. What? Fully recharged in 3 days? That's amazing. Wow.
Energy critical.
Okay, so if I grab all the batteries. Huh. 53 batteries. Well, that's a lot of batteries. So I'm going to paint the outside here. So I want to go down to the planet and check out the beach house refinery, pick up the platinum. To do that, I want to land. I actually want to land the ship. So I'd like to get these hinges sorted out because I think I know the answer.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
So I'm going to put a hinge in here. And another one in here. Put the hinge part here. Doesn't look quite right, does it? Huh. Okay, well, let's make sure this works. So let's weld all this stuff up. So this is in here, okay. It says I can't do that. The block that's not in the way is in the way. I mean, that's what I'm getting out of that. Maybe it's complaining about this block. So move that. Ooh, it doesn't like that. Okay, move that.
Okay, doesn't like that. Okay, doesn't like that. Okay, doesn't like that. Okay, doesn't like that.
Okay, and oh. Oh. So does it really need the double hinge? Let's see if it really needs the double hinge. Yeah, it does seem to need the double hinge. Okay. All right. So that's good news. Let's put the double hinge in here for all three of these. And then we'll think about landing on planet, I guess. I got all this stuff in process. But we probably have platinum down there that's been refined that we would like to have, so. So hopefully that's a little interesting to figure out how to get this stuff to work. I haven't really built one of these before. I just have this idea about how you can do it, so this has been something new for me. So thanks for bearing with me. Look how much smoother that is. That looks good. Silly offset cockpit problems. Oh man. Yeah, that's pretty good. Except that one didn't, no, it did merge. It just doesn't, I don't know, the lights don't always go on. So that's awesome, actually. Okay, so let's head over to the... Oh man, this thing is so heavy now. I really need to put more gyro on it. My lord. Or is it the fact that I have that satellite sticking off the top? All right. We're going to leave the satellite here. See if we can go land on Titan. How much do we weigh? Oh, 16 million kilograms. How many thrusters do we have? It's like 32 upwards facing hydrogen thrusters. Is that right? 8 plus 14 is 22 plus 32 upward facing hydrogen thrusters. We should be able to land this thing on the alien planet. Wow. Okay. My little friend has been helping me weld up some more gyros because I'm terrified to go in Atmo with only the gyros that we have because we don't turn very well anymore. And while I am not the worst at flying ships because they don't always crash, there's a lot going on here and it would be really unpleasant to try and flip the Ukamachi over if for some unpleasant reason some moron managed to flip it over. So just adding a few more gyros. Complete the look in here. Still have a bunch of interior to build. So at some point. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. You can get there. the noises that space engineers make when they realize their welding piston is too slow. Okay, we are on our way down towards the surface of Titan. I don't know if you can see down there, but there's a voxel deformation. That is our target. That is where Mozo's beach house is. So, it's going to keep on coasting until we get into planetary gravity. Maybe it's going to be a minute. Maybe I should coast faster. Kind of forget how big or small these moons are compared to a regular sized planet. I mean, there is a real planet here. It's a lot farther away and it looks about the same size. That's pretty cool. Here we are. It's been a long, long time. Looks like Mozo's still there. I guess that's a good thing that he's here, right? See if he's still cheesy. Ooh, ooh. Locked. Now let's see what we got on board. Wow, this thing still sucking on platinum. Oh, it refined a bunch of uranium. That's entertaining. So it's still refining platinum. Okay. Ores? Ore? And we still have some platinum left to go, so... Okay. Can I put this platinum in here? Oh gosh. That looks cobalt. Wow, that's nice. Cheeseman's Delight still here. Cheese is still here uneaten. Cheese is still uneaten. And the Cheeseman sleeps. Well, I was thinking while I was here, I might build a hydrogen farm. I don't want to mess up his view, so it would have to be over here. It would give me another reason to come back here. There's a lot of ice here. And, I mean, we are kind of low on hydrogen. So, what's going on in here? Yeah. Okay. It's dark in there. A little scary. All right. So these are the tunnels underneath. Oh, yeah. I do need some nickel right now. These are the tunnels under the defense towers. So, that goes to one, that goes to the other. This goes down to the refineries. Refinery. Which is still running around. What's those large grid battery output? Max output is 12 megawatts, so 12 times 53. Oh, Komachi's charging this, right? That's what's happening, right? Yeah, the Komachi's charging it. Oh, that's nice. So, what? There's platinum 130 meters from here? What? What? Where is the platinum? I wouldn't mind having some more of that. It's basically right under here. True? Is that really? I guess. Holy platinum, Batman. Okay, well, so I'm gonna dig down there and find it. Because there's nothing like more platinum in the refinery while we wait for Mozo to wake up, right? I mean, ugh.
Mozo's at the beach house, and I think he's here to stay. Mozo's eaten too much cheese, and now his mind has gone away. He's stuck in that cryo with too much noxious gas. All that cheese is coming back out of his ass. It's stinking up his cryo. It's stinking up the ship. We need to vent it out. We need to do it quick. Mozo, our friend, we're leaving you here on this rock with this low density atmosphere. Maybe you'll outgas maybe your stink will clear out on this rock in this really thin air. It's so convenient, the stink in your pants. An excuse to get out, to build a beach house. An excuse to get out, to dig a big hole. An excuse to get out, a honking load of cheese, blaming platinum. And it's stinking up his cryo, it's stinking up the ship. We need to vent it out, we need to do it quick. We'll get all the platinum, we'll mine it all out. We'll set up our friend in his special dream house, a secluded place for him to air out. A house on the beach, an eternal sea. The frozen cheeseman is staring with glee at the sight that his eyes now constantly see. It's stinking up his cryo, it's stinking up the ship. We need to vent it out, we need to do it quick. We'll come back this way one day, we'll sniff around and see if he's sound. Sit on the deck and have a nice tea, wait and gaze out slowly across this frozen sea. When Mozo wakes, will we be here? One thing we know, one thing's for sure, when he comes out he'll be hungry no doubt, prowling the beach house and looking for cheese, a hunger that only right out of him. Please, Mozo, Mozo, lay off the darn cheese.
So this is the bottom, and I would like to put a conveyor line and run it straight up from here, connect it into the bottom of the conveyor line above. So just lay a starting piece in here. Where is that projection coming through here? Is it? I don't see that projection coming through. I wonder if it is long enough. Oh, it's long enough. I'm just off by one. My expectations are just plain wrong. Okay. So we are charged up. We are digging through here. I think. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I did not plan my episode time particularly well, and we have this nice surprise, this platinum find. So I didn't do a proper episode outro, and so I'm going to leave you guys with some footage of me digging the conveyor line out and welding it up. I hope that you enjoyed the content. I hope that everything is going really good in your life. And I hope you can join me again for the next episode, where we're going to get this darn platinum out of here. This wonderful surprise. And maybe we will build a hydrogen farm. I'm not sure. we're a little hungry for ProtoTech since it's been kind of a while, so we will see. We still have a large grid ship printer to finish and test. All that and a whole lot more to come. So I hope you can join me then. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a like and subscribe. Heck, if you're still here and you haven't given me a like or subscribe, why the heck not? It would really help out. Till next time, don't forget your towel.